listening to The Metro on 1019 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. Now, what do you get when your artistry knows no bounds? Sometimes we call them multi-hyphenates or multi-disciplinaries, a jack of all trades, a renaissance man. Regardless of what we choose to call it, Samuel Nalangira is an example of an artist who has honed his artistic craft and expresses it through whatever form he chooses. Samuel is a singer, a musician, a dancer, a choreographer from Uganda. And he also happens to be one of 4 musicians selected for the Sounds Like Detroit showcase in just a couple of weeks. He was selected by WDET's Liz Warner. She's the host of Alternate Take. Here's what she had to say about Samuel's work.
I love Samuel's multi-instrumentalist, all-hands-on-deck approach to creating his music. It's especially impressive as a solo musician. It's a refreshing addition to the sounds of the Michigan landscape. As a solo musician, Samuel creates a world of sound. That sound is based on instrumentation from his Ugandan tradition, and it incorporates voice, multiple instruments, and also multiple layered voice recordings. What's interesting about Samuel Nalangira is how he is a choreographer as well. He's recently toured with a production called Dance of Hope, and he also takes part in outreach to inform and educate the community about the music and the culture of the music.
Joining me now in studio is Samuel Nalangira. Samuel, welcome to the Metro.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Liz has some great things to say about all of the different forms that you express your artistic inspiration through. And I'm imagining that started for like a long time ago when you were young. You've been making music and creating art since, I believe you were a teenager. Can you just talk about the first time you knew that this was something you would do for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I think I knew this when I was still younger, because when I was like 6 years, 7 years, I used to go around our house banging everything with a fork, playing like drums on the cups, like tying something like some strings on the stick. Then I started like playing like a guitar. Then my mom used to say, "Oh, my son is really talented." So then my grandfather, who was blind, he used to have a tubu fiddle, which is like a violin here. Then I used to go to him always. He was playing the fiddle, and I was fascinated by him. Then when I was 8 years, I joined several groups in the village, because for me, music, even when I was like doing something else, if I hear something like a drum or any sound which is different, it pulls me away from what I'm doing, and I'll follow to know what's that. Yeah, that's how it used to be from my childhood. So then one day someone came to my village, was looking for talented kids. Then I was among them, and he took me to the school called Bland Baker in Imbalala district. That's when my journey of music started. From then, that's where I found all the instruments I dreamed about. Even I have never seen it. I didn't know adungu, because adungu is like my main instrument, but there were several instruments, and it didn't take me long to learn how to play those instruments because of the thirst I had about them, because I was like, I need this instrument so bad, So I ended up like learning how to play those instruments. On top of that, then also I started learning how to fix them. How can I make my own, something like that? So by the age of 15, I became a music teacher too within the same school. Yeah, because sometimes you could come and teach me something, but it's easier for me to get it. That's why the only instrument I was taught, it was only one instrument, but the rest of the instrument I was teaching by myself, by looking at someone or by like listening. Then I played, then I started creating my own ideas of playing.
So it sounds like you were really naturally gifted to a point where you didn't have to, you were able to just look at someone and be able to play. You talked about like at a young age how just hearing music you would hear it, it would distract you from whatever you were focusing on because you were so attuned to it. That's fascinating. I do want to, because you mentioned in your response there, your main instrument, the adungu. I want to play a song. You make Ugandan African folk music, and like you said, you play many instruments. The adungu is your main instrument. It's a traditional Ugandan instrument. And so just to describe it so people can visualize what it looks like, it's kind of shaped like a boat, and you can correct me if this is wrong, but it's shaped like a boat. It has a sound box, it has some holes hollowed in it, and then there's a bow that extends from that end, curves upward, and that's where there are tuning pegs and strings that run from the tuning pegs down to that sound box. And as you said before, like you kind of grew up playing guitar, it's kind of like a harp like that. So here's a snippet of you playing adungu from one of your albums.
Uza.
So, Sammy, you could hear at the beginning of that song, you start that song off using the adungu. Did I describe it accurately? I said it kind of sounds like a harp. It has it's got the sound box connected to almost this bow with the string connected to it. Sammy, you there? Might have lost you, Samuel. I want to talk real quick, too, because, Samuel, while we get you on the line, there's a thing that you do in some of the music that you play in your albums. You have a couple different songs in the album, but at the beginning, he really distinctly highlights the instruments that he plays, the African folk instruments. So I want to go to one song he says called We Are Together, and then by the time we get back, hopefully we'll have Samuel back on the line.
We are together, no matter the color you are. We are together, you are not alone. We are together.
So there are a few different instruments that I know Samuel's familiar with. The adungu, is the traditional Ugandan instrument that we were talking about before. It's sort of like a harp. In that song, it's the akogo. It's almost like a finger instrument that he plays to start that song off with. Samuel, do we have you back on the line?
Yes.
Okay. I was talking about the two instruments that you play and the songs that you have on your albums, how you kind of preview those songs with those instruments. Was that intentional by any means? Do you want to make sure that people hear these authentic African folk instruments?
Yeah, I just wanted people to hear a different kind of instruments. So on that album, I played several instruments. So the first song I played, the instrument is called Kamirangoni. It's from Burkina Faso. I built that instrument out of a propane tank. So, and the one We Are Together, I used the some piano. Mm-hmm. That's what I used, plus tubu fiddle, which is a one-string instrument.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Now, did I describe the adungu correctly?
Yes, you did really good. I felt like you were making it right straight there.
Awesome. For our listeners, I want to remind them that they're listening to the Metro on 101.9 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. My guest is Samuel Nalangira, and we had a little technical difficulties, but we've got you back now. You are an African folk musician, a dancer, a vocalist. We were talking a bit about your upbringing, but I do want to go to your craftsmanship. We talked about the different forms of art that you do, but I want to give a shout out to this because you also craft some of these adungus, correct? I know when you're teaching, you help folks build them as well. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
About how I craft my instruments?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So me, one thing, what I do when I see someone playing an instrument, I just once I sit and I feel like I want it, I just go to the workshop and I make it myself. And then the only problem may be like how to play it, but still I figure out how to play it by myself. For instance, the Kamirangoni, when I was in China on my tour, I saw someone playing the Kamirangoni, and I was like, oh, my instrument just one lay of string. I need a double string instrument. Then I searched on the Kamirangoni. It was costing more than like 1,500. Then what I did, I was like, I'm not going to use this money to buy this kind of instrument. So when I went back to Uganda, I was walking on the street. I saw a propane tank. Then I grabbed it. I cut it into pieces. I ran into the forest. I grabbed a stick. Then the only thing I bought it was only the guitar pegs and the piazzos But I ended up making an instrument using only $50.
Wow.
So it saved me a lot. Yeah.
$15.
So I love that instrument.
Because I know people who spend hundreds of dollars on instruments. They're all, you go to the shop and you try to test it all out, but you make it out of $15. But also I imagine, when you build a relationship with an instrument, when you've played it for years, you kind of get to know its quirks, its kinks, its characteristics. What is that like for you as someone who, you're like, I don't want to spend all this money. I'm going to find what I can because I know how to make this instrument. And then you've kind of crafted it. And so you kind of crafted the kinks too. Does that change the relationship you have with how you play it and engage with the instrument itself?
Oh, say that again.
Like when you build an instrument, you're crafting it from scratch. And when you played something for a long time, you kind of get to know its kinks, its bumps. Like maybe one string's a little too long, or another one's too short, or they're a little spread out. Yeah. Does that play into how you kind of play with each instrument, or the relationship you have with the instruments that you craft?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do, because when I'm making instrument, because there's some gauges of the string I put according to the size of the instrument, because when I'm making them, I have to balance, because each instrument gives me a very different sound. So when you look at my instruments, they will confuse you. There's some which has tiny strings, some they have like a little bit bigger, some they have like what is so I get the strings and I make them like rough. So they have like they give me a vibration when I'm playing.
Yeah.
Do
you have it with you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so many. I'm just leaving the forest of instruments.
Oh yeah, you got to put
the instruments.
Can you put the phone mic closer to so we can hear a little bit more?
Okay. Let me see.
If it's easy for you. Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay. Abagenda bamimbaleka abagenda bamimbaleka abagende bamimbaleka.
Now, Samuel, I want to chime in here because we relate in one way. When I hear beautiful music, I also forget what else I'm doing. So I will say for like a good 10 seconds there, you put me into a place where I was wanting to sit there and listen to another 10 or so minutes of you just playing. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
The dexterity I imagine it requires to be able to play that instrument the way you do, it must be a lot. But you've been playing for so long, I imagine it's just secondhand, like playing piano.
Yeah, so because I think this is almost like a piano, but not really. There's some technique I put, because this is the new version of Adungu that I haven't introduced to anyone. This one, the one I just played. Yeah. But the rest of the instrument, even there's another one which is a double string, also still a new version. Yeah. So I'm introducing a new version of Adungu, a double, and also because the double will be sounding like a caller almost. I see. Now I want to talk about you as an instructor. You've traveled to teach people across the world your music and culture. I'm wondering what
what your classes struggle with most in terms of understanding the music that you play, the music you create?
I think it will be the rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah, the rhythm. That's what makes them like. Sometimes they struggle with the rhythm. Yeah, but finally, they get it because according to my experience, the way I do things, I find something easy for them to learn, and then after that, we build it slowly, you know. It's like the way how the child is being born from, you know. So I have to be very patient, and also they have to be very patient, but it's a little bit challenging, like, for the rhythm, because our rhythm are totally different.
Is it possible for you to demonstrate that for us on the Adungu you have, the simple rhythms that you give them? Because you just played something that was advanced, right? We just heard that. Show us like what kind of the basics you'd show someone else and like progressively kind of get closer. And then you don't have to go all the way up, but I just kind of want to see the progression or hear the progression.
Yeah, the progression, because there's this instrument here, it's in so I always give them this one, which is in A. So
In A.
it's like the beginning. It's like the beginning instrument, which is tuned like in. We say it's tuned in tenor. So let me do it now. So it goes like this. That's called one.
This is the baby
42.
step.
One, 44, 45.
And
So that's it.
That's like the basics you will teach someone who's trying to learn how to play the instrument, because you know the rhythm can be difficult. I see. And then they work their way from that to, you know, what you were demonstrating. Well, I don't know if they ever get to your level. That's years of practice and mastery. So, but they work their way up to something more impressive, I should say. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It is, but so many people were learning because when people they check on my YouTube, I have a video I uploaded it for kids when they are learning how to play this adungus, and they got the rhythm well. Yeah,
they were able to watch the video and get it down. I wonder. Go ahead.
I just taught them. I taught them how to play. So I uploaded a video for some other people, so that they can, so that also they can have a hope, like, oh, me too, I can play, I can do this.
I wonder for you, do you wish, because you know a lot of the music people listen to is not the world music that we know has the kind of deep cultural history and roots like yours. It's, you know, the music we hear on the radio. It's music we get, you know, fed to us through apps like Spotify and Apple Music. I wonder for you as a musician who makes this music, do you wish it were more widely popularized?
Do I?
Do you wish music like this, like African folk music, was more widely popularized? Like we had access to it the same way we have access to, you know, the popular music we hear today, the Sabrina Carpenters of the world.
Okay.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you think it would take to get that?
I think it's just like we need more promotion, people to promote our music. And that's what we are lacking. Even where I come from, they are not so much in folk music. They are just in there's certain kind of music they do for they promote, and our music is being promoted like outside of Uganda, you know. But there are very few people who know that. But you know what? This music had to be promoted because someone who does this music, that means very talented, because it takes time to learn this instrument. That's first. And also playing this instrument while singing, it's not a simple thing. That's what shows the talent. But this other music, someone will just come and sing, only singing, not playing instrument, you know. Then they can put like an auto-tune on top of his or her voice, so it sounds good. And you know, but if you put that person to sing live like on an instrument, then it may be, you know. So we just need a promotion, and we need people like you to come out and say, okay, sponsorship,
Yeah.
Because that's why most of people are leaving such kind of music, because they don't have support.
I understand that, Samuel. Definitely a lot of people putting auto-tune on songs now to make things sound perfect, but you have definitely mastered all the different fields. That is all the time we have for this conversation, Samuel. I want to thank you for joining me and being here on the Metro.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was Samuel Nalangira. He's a singer, a musician, dancer, and choreographer from Uganda. He also happens to be one of the 4 musicians selected for the Sounds Like Detroit Showcase that's happening August 14th at Batch Brewing Company. You can RSVP and get your tickets now at WDET.org. All right, coming up, the lineup is out for the always free, always fantastic Detroit Jazz Fest. We'll hear about it next on the Metro. Stay right there.